Hi to everyone, welcome back to another video episode on the concept of theory of demand analysis. Okay, so in last class we were under a discussion called in this chapter theory of consumer behavior and demand analysis. So we ended up the concept of the consumer behavior part to the point of optimal choice of a consumer. But the next topic which we need to discuss about the demand analysis. So in last class we wanted a discussion of what is demand, demand concepts, and followed by up to the law of demand and its effect with the graphical representation. So today we'll discuss about types of goods. In last class we wanted a discussion. There are mainly four types of goods are there. So first one in that normal goods. Okay. Second one is about inferior goods. Third one is about substitute goods. Fourth one is about complementary goods. Okay. So there are four types of majorly classified types of goods are there, which we need to have a discussion in the demand analysis. Coming to the first one, normal goods. So normal good and inferior good we have already discussed the meaning. To the word called normal and these inferior, they are subjected to income of a consumer and demand for the commodity. Okay, as long as income increases, demand for normal good increases. Okay, if income decreases, demand for normal good decreases. Then this is a relation where we can apply in case of a normal. Okay, but when income increases, demand for normal good increases, demand for inferior goods will decreases. Are we clear? For example, you take normal goods like daily consumables and all. As long as income of a consumer increases, we may generally demand more of a normal good. But when the prices are low in the market for certain goods, all the goods are not equally priced. Okay, in such case, some of the goods will be there where the low priced, like foxtail millet, okay, finger millet, pearl millet, and all, they are low priced in the market. When our income, our means consumer, when consumers' income increases, demand for normal good also increases, but demand for inferior good decreases. In such case, you may better understand the differences between the normal goods and the inferior goods when we go for in a detailed study. So, here are the normal goods and followed by inferior good. So, in case of a normal good, when a consumer's income increases, demand for normal good also increases. But to the point of inferior good, when income, Y stands for income. When income increases, demand for inferior good decreases. See, we can understand both are going in the same direction and here both are going in a opposite direction. We can make another difference between these two. Okay, there is the existence of a positive relationship. There is the existence of positive relationship between the income of a consumer as well as the demand for a commodity in case of a normal good. And you can observe these arrows, they are moving in opposite direction. So we can call it as a, so income as well as a demand has a negative relation in case of a inferior goods. Then coming to it, when the both are moving in the same direction, we can call it as a, there is a direct relationship. There is a direct relationship between the income and demand, and there is no direct relationship between the income and demand. You can take another example. This is a guaranteed question for a 2 marks, where you can bring any of 2 among the 4. And the fourth one you can make it as a difference, and that is about the normal goods like daily consumables like vegetables, rice, okay, milk and all. Then this all comes under the normal good. Inferior good like foxtail millet, pearl millet, okay, finger on the letter and all, so you can make it as a example for inferior goods. Now coming to the third and fourth type of a good. Third and fourth type of a good which we have already discussed the meaning of it, and those goods are called as a substitute goods. Which kind of a goods? Substitute goods. The name itself indicates substitution. And next one is about complementary goods. So coming to the first one, substitute and complementary goods. Substitute goods are those which acts as an alternative, which satisfies the same one. For example, so you take the best example for substitute goods, tea and coffee. Okay, we can take it. Okay, so tea, which satisfies the same one. If we substitute, we can go for coffee. And the good which acts as an alternative or n number of alternatives which satisfy the same one, then that kind of goods are called as a substitute goods. And at the same time, complementary, the goods which are consumed together. The goods which are consumed together to satisfy a particular want, then that is called a complementary. For that, we can go by an example called bike and car. Now coming to the differences between substitute goods and complementary goods. Okay, but substitute goods and complementary goods, we have to elaborate the concept with the example of price and demand. In case of a normal and inferior, we have taken in two elements. One is called income and demand. In case of a substitute and complementary, we have to take it into consideration price as well as demand. Okay, and here coming to the first one, you can go by meaning. What do you mean by the point called substitute goods, and what do you mean by meaning of complementary goods? That we can write down as first difference. This is guaranteed for either 4 marks or 2 marks. Then second difference between the substitute and complementary goods is when price increases, demand for substitute good also increases. For example, you take an example of tea and coffee. Assume tea and coffee is a price of rupees 10 per cup in a market. Okay. So tea supply got down. Okay. Then people demand more of tea and more of coffee in the sense. So when the price has been increased due to the low supply in the market, the price per cup of tea has been increased, and a cup of tea has jumped from 10 rupee to 40 rupee per cup. Obviously, people don't want to pay 10 rupee to directly a 40 rupee. Okay, for a cup of coffee. Tea. They can directly jump instead of tea to coffee. They cannot afford it. Okay. So why? Because they are habituated for only for a 10 rupee for a cup of tea. All of a sudden, the cup of tea has been jumped from 40 because of the low supply in the market. The meantime, people will shift to coffee. Then, in such case, if price increases, demand for substitute good will increases. Are we clear? So, market has been fixed with the rupees 10 a cup of coffee, but and the tea. But the price of a tea has been increased. People will shift the demand from a tea to coffee. Okay, and it doesn't mean that coffee price has been downfall. Okay, so people got shifted from one to another, and here there is a both are moving in a same direction. You can observe the point here. When price increases, demand for its substitute good increases. Now coming to the second difference between the complementary goods, you can take an example of a bike and a petrol. Okay, so bike and petrol, then you have to make it use of it. Then only can satisfy a particular want of riding. In such case, if a price of a bike increases, double or tripled, then demand for petrol may decrease. Okay, in such case, there is existence of a inverse relation in case of a complementary goods. And third difference you can make it between the substitute goods and the complementary good is when the price of a commodity increases, demand for a substitute good also increases. But when a price increases here, demand for complementary good decreases. Are we clear? Then here we can call it as there is existence of positive and direct relationship between the price and the demand. In case of a complementary, you can take it as an inverse relationship between the price and the demand. Let's take an example. Okay, assume what if in the market petrol prices from 80 rupee per liter or whatever the 79 whatever it is, if a price of a petrol has been downfall to 10 rupee per liter, then when a price decreases, using of the vehicle becomes more. Are we clear? At the same time, we can interchange the value. If a bike prices, scooters, okay, has been downfall to 25,000 or 10,000 per vehicle, new vehicle, not second hand one. In such case, demand for petrol will be rushed towards it. Then in such case, there is always inverse relation in case of complementary. In case of a substitute, there is existence of a positive relation between the substitute goods and the point here it is very simple. So first you need to understand the meaning, then followed by the effect, then the relation, then followed by an example. The fourth example you can go by the substitute good is about tea and the coffee. Okay, then complementary you can go by bike and petrol. Likewise, so thermal, electrical. Okay, n number of other examples are there. So there is a huge examples are there. You can make it. Okay, and coming to the point, the today's discussion is about not only the types of goods, will enter to the movements in demand curve. So movements, we'll discuss about the movement in a demand curve now. So okay, movements in demand curve are classified into two. So first one is called contraction of demand curve. Next one is called expansion of demand curve. Contraction in the sense, you can remember the law of demand. Okay, so here the law of demand states about one thing: if other things remaining constant. If other things are remaining constant, it means there is a general equation is that QD equals to F of P, PR, YT, many factors are there. If other things remaining constant, if you took the price, if a price increases, demand decreases. If a price decreases, demand increases. In such case, we can form a movement under the demand curve. So demand curve always shifts from left to right downwards. Now coming to the point, contraction of demand curve starts only when price increases, demand decreases. Then the demand will take the left shift. Then that is called contraction of demand. So expansion of demand curve means when price fall, demand increases for certain goods if other things remaining constant. Then in such case it will take the right shift. Then that is called expansion of demand curve. That the thing we'll discuss. So with a small diagram. Okay. So if you remember the law of demand, you can easily form movements under the demand curve. So movements are classified as into two. So we'll have a discussion with the movements. So to this point, so now to this point you can draw x and y axis. Okay, and here on x axis you represent quantity demanded, which we used to call it as a QD. Okay. And here we have taken a price on a y-axis. So as it the law of demand stands, if a price increases, demand will fall. If a price falls, demand will increase. Let's draw a demand curve. And this is a demand curve. Okay. And this is an up to the particular point of price, particular point of quantity. When you have a price for commodity, then there is always demand for a commodity. Okay, it is not a gift. Okay, what if price increases? Okay, from this price has increased from P to P2. It has been jumped from P to P2. P से P2 जंप हो गया, तो डिमांड पहले कहाँ था? Q को था. ये Q2 पे आ गया, राइट। मार्केट में अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट का प्राइस ज़्यादा हो गया तो डिमांड कम होगा, अगर वैसे ही प्राइस एग्जिस्टिंग लेवल से कम हो गया, ये फॉल्स ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದರೆ P1ಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದೋದ್ರೆ, ಡೌನ್ಫಾಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದರೆ ದೆನ್ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಕ್ಯೂ ಅಷ್ಟು ಇವಾಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ, Q1 P1 Q1 P2 Q2 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ when price increases from P to P2, P ಇಂದ P2ಗೆ ಜಂಪ್ ಆದರೆ ದೆನ್ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, then this is called contraction of demand curve. डिमांड अपने आप को पीछे ले गया, then this is called contraction of demand curve. We can call it as a DC. Okay, if a price fall from P to P1, मार्केट में अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट का प्राइस गिर गया तो डिमांड फॉर सर्टेन गुड्स विल increases if subject to other conditions, means other things remaining constant, then demand for certain good increases, then it will take the right shift from existing level, so it will take the right shift, then this is called expansion and this is called contraction from this point on. Then when price decreases, demand for commodity increases, and this is called expansion of demand curve, then this is called D. D means demand curve. Then how many movements are there? Two movements are there. First one, contraction of demand curve, expansion of demand curve. Contraction will occur only when price increases from one level to the existing level to highest level, then demand for commodity will decreases, then this is called contraction of demand curve. When price decreases from P to P1, then demand for commodity increases from this Q1 Q2 Q1, then this is called expansion of demand. Are we clear? So for the next class we'll enter to the shifts in the demand curve, which is guaranteed for 6 months. The thing we'll discuss in next another video. Okay, thank you.